Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 309, Clueless. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Eric.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
All right, good to hear.
How are you?
I'm all right.
All right.
Yeah. I'm always in a good mood whenever I see Dan Hedaya and anything.
Absolutely. Oh, he is the secret weapon of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you right off the bat here.
Okay.
I don't know what I think about this movie.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Because part of me really kind of hated it.
Okay.
But also I laughed.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. What did you hate about it?
The characters.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's secretly like this genius thing that's happening in front of me as it's happening, but like I hated the performances.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's like an actual performance or just bad acting.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Particularly from most of the female leads.
Okay.
With the exception of Brittany Murphy.
Okay.
Who I felt was giving like the only genuine like performances in the movie.
Well, she's not from there.
Right?
She's from the East Coast.
I guess this is true.
Yeah. So I remember. So I have been watching this movie for a long time.
It's time to stop.
God.
There are other movies, man.
You know what? There are, but they're not this. No, it used to be on TV a lot when I was younger, and at that point, I didn't know what satire was.
Okay.
So I just took everything that the characters were doing at face value, and was like, "Oh, I hate them all. These people are fucking terrible." I didn't realize that was the point.
Okay.
So I don't know if that... I mean, I'm sure you picked up on the satire, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I mean...
Beyond that.
Like, I get that it's satire, but, like, they were still so terrible.
Right.
And again, it all comes down to the performances for me, especially Alicia Silverstone. Maybe it's because I've not seen much of her in anything else other than like Batman and Robin,
sure,
which is dicey at best,
right?
As much as I will defend that movie,
yeah.
So. I know I've seen her in a few other things, but never, I guess, in like this big of a role.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure what she's doing. Is she doing something so deftly ingenious?
I'm trying to think of other stuff that I've seen her in. Other than Batman and Robin.
Sure.
I'm going to do a quick look.
That's fine. I know there was a movie that I saw that she was in recently, a couple of years, where she played sort of a dramatic, tragic character that she had a very, very small part in. But like she was fine. Like she plays a mom that dies,
Okay.
setting off events that would go on. It's a horror movie.
Is it The Lodge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just hadn't seen that one. I assumed.
Yes.
Like, that looked like the kind of thing that you would watch.
Yep.
It looks like she was also in an episode of Bajillion Dollar Properties.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oof. Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate that movie so much.
Space Dogs Adventure to the Moon.
Oh, yeah.
She's been around.
She's.
Oh, yeah, she was in Ass Backwards. That's what it was. The June Diane Raphael and Casey Wilson. Yeah. Yeah. She's sort of just been kicking around.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, she's adorable to look at. So, you know, as base as I want to get there, but yeah.
You're absolutely right. It's hard not to notice in this movie that she is gorgeous.
Right? Not even particularly my type.
Yeah.
But yet, there she is.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just, I is she doing something? Or is she bad?
It is hard to say without further evidence.
Right.
And it doesn't seem like, based on other things that she has been in, she's given, like, super good material to work with.
Yeah.
See Batman and Robin?
Right.
Like, Barbara Wilson doesn't get a lot of memorable scenes. Maybe the motorcycle racing.
I think her breaking into the Batcave and having a conversation with a computer.
Oh, right.
Pretending to be Alfred.
That's true.
Is quite memorable.
Yeah, that's why I completely forgot about it.
And you know, maybe she hasn't been given, you know, big, fleshed out, flashy roles because maybe other people are watching this movie and thinking, you know, well, she's not that great.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe she secretly is. I don't know.
Well, we need to watch Ass Backwards again.
Yes. I wouldn't mind watching that again.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember very little about that one as well. But also, you know, like Stacey Dash, the only other thing I know about her is problematic politics.
Yeah.
So I've never seen her in anything else.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the only notable thing she's been in, and the TV series spinoff.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah.
And yeah, I did not care for her either. Other than, again, very attractive.
Yeah. I feel like she for sure is doing something. It feels like her and Donald Faison.
Donald Faison definitely is. And
Yeah.
I've seen him in enough stuff that I can, you know, definitely differentiate between his character and what he does.
Right. Yeah. He's keeping it real.
Yeah. Although in my head, like, he's just always going to be Turk from Scrubs.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And then I think, like, the MVP of this movie is you know, definitely Brittany Murphy. I think she's fantastic, and it reminded me a lot of Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's the movie.
Yeah,
she's in that.
yeah, I think so.
Plays very similar characters, I believe.
Yeah,
during the weird Brittany Murphy is kind of dumpy phase.
Yeah. But also, no, she's not.
Right? Which, I mean, it's kind of a shame. I never really, you know, saw many other movies with her in it, but she seemed to have... She seemed to almost have turned into Cher from Clueless as a real person.
Okay.
and just, like, a lot of her roles after those couple movies seem to be just that.
Yeah, she did a lot of, like, rom-com-y stuff.
Yeah.
Like
dyed her hair blonde. And,
yeah.
You know, like, that's what she was famous
stuff
for.
with, like, Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
But also was it Along Came a Spider? Is that the one that or Don't Say a Word? Maybe she was in some like Morgan Freeman thriller in the late 90s when they were pumping those out.
I do not know.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
All right.
yeah. But that would have been before she she did her starlet turn, I guess.
Right. Gone too soon, possibly.
Yes. I think so.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Well, yeah, I won't be cruel about that.
Thank you.
That's definitely gone too soon.
Yeah. We can be cruel about some things on this podcast, but let's not be cruel about that.
No. But yeah, I'm still sort of stumped about. There are definitely things that I liked, for sure.
Yeah.
And like I said, I laughed.
I was glad when you laughed. I was concerned, admittedly. I was concerned when I picked it. I really wasn't sure how you were going to take it. I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie.
Right.
Like I said, I've been watching it for years. I know a lot of the beats of it really well, but not like the specific details.
Right.
So watching it now, like it's been a while since I've seen it. So it was kind of like watching it again for the first time. And there's more stuff in it that made me laugh than I remembered. So that was a pleasant surprise.
You did seem genuinely surprised by certain things.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this movie came out in what, 96?
96, 97? Or no, 97 was Batman and Robin, so yeah, 96 was this one.
So, I mean, that was the year I graduated from high school, so, prime Eric goes to the movies all the time because he worked at a movie theater.
Right.
Just avoided this one entirely. Just looked like something I would not be into.
Yeah. Is it because of all the pink? Did it look like a girl movie?
I mean, a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that. But, just it felt like it was a dumb teen romantic comedy thing that I guess I just assumed was going to be like 100% sincere.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was, well, I'm not into that.
Yeah. Sincerity.
Right. Well, I like sincerity, but just, certain things I don't. I get what I mean.
Yeah, I get it. Not things that are not for you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
This felt like a movie not for me.
Sure.
And have pretty much gone through my entire adult life firmly believing that. Even though I'm sure the TV show came shortly after this. And I know that I have like stumbled upon an episode or two at like 6 a.m. on like a Sunday.
Sure.
When it was on in syndication.
Yeah.
And I think A, was flabbergasted that they made a TV show.
Yeah.
And B, that a lot of the cast returned for it.
Yeah, you know more about this than I do. I don't think I've ever seen any episodes of the TV show.
So clearly, Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd not in the show.
Right.
But like Stacey Dash was, Donald Faison, the actress that played Amber.
Okay.
The two teachers, Ms. Geist and
Wallace Shawn?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Dan Hedaya did not.
Okay.
A little weird. He's not above TV.
He didn't want to be tied down.
He was Nick Tortelli, for Christ's sakes.
That's from Cheers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the spinoff of the Tortellis.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that there was a Tortelli spinoff.
There was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With him and Gene Kasem reprising their roles.
Amazing.
They moved out to Las Vegas. He opened a TV repair shop.
All right. Interesting. Are there any other forgotten Cheers spinoffs that I'm not aware of? Or is it just that and Frasier?
Yeah, I think those are the only two forgotten Cheers.
Yeah. No, I always forget about Frasier.
Dr. Frasier Boss. It's a Comedy Bang Bang reference from 13 years ago.
Did you hear Kelsey Grammer's appearance on Comedy Bang Bang not too long ago? That was pretty great.
Yep.
I feel like I read that Paul Rudd is in an episode of the show,
all right.
Not as Josh.
Alrighty.
Which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But okay.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
He's Paul Rudd.
He is. He can do anything.
He can do what he likes.
I know that people say that Paul Rudd doesn't age.
Right.
He looks real young in this movie.
He is a little baby Paul Rudd in this.
Yeah. It's adorable.
I mean, yeah, he has aged well.
Yes.
Considering this movie is 25 plus years old at this point.
Fuck me. Oh, God.
And he is now in his 50s.
Yeah.
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 And looks amazingly well.
Yeah.
But yes, he has aged. Because he is just a smooth little baby boy in this.
Yeah, he is.
Just a pretty man.
It's so pretty.
So I'm gonna bring up my lady friend here.
Okay.
Because I told her that I
Is
felt...
she here?
She is not.
Okay.
She is, much like me, crippled.
Right.
Not
really. Not offensive.
Nope. I'm a little bit... Not offensive, but a little crippled.
A little crippled, okay.
Yeah. Hopefully, temporarily,
yes,
for both of us.
That's what I'm still operating under.
Yes.
Anyway, continue.
So I told her that we were watching this movie and said that this was pretty much a movie that I would have expected her to have forced me to watch at some point.
Right.
Which, of course, she, pretty much confirmed. But also, she has kind of forced me to watch episodes of Friends here and there.
Sure.
And Paul Rudd shows up on that show frequently.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end. And,
yeah.
Even on that show, he looks a little older. A
little bit, yeah.
Which it's pretty much the same time period.
It was maybe 6 or 7 years later for Friends.
All right.
Yeah, because he's only in maybe the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah. That show ran for a long time.
It really did. I watched most of it while I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because it airs all the time.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just always felt like this is just not a movie for me, and watching it, finally having seen it, I can definitely see that there are aspects of it that are directly aimed at me.
Yeah.
In addition to the fact that, I had a crush on pretty much every female character in this movie. And some of the males.
Sure.
I'm not going to deny Jeremy Sisto either.
Absolutely not. Dan Hedaya? Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you want to talk about little baby men, Jeremy Sisto in this.
He is unrecognizable.
Right? I think it was his third scene when I realized who it was exactly. Just playing the scuzziest of bastards in this movie.
Yeah. I think Breckin Meyer's great in this movie too.
He is. Underrated.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen stuff with him that is not great. I think he's in definitely one of the worst Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Okay.
Playing pretty much the exact same character.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Is he related to Seth Meyers?
No, because Seth Meyers, Breckin Meyer.
Okay.
They have different last names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it, Seth Meyer?
No,
okay.
It's Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyer does have a brother, though, who does appear
I believe
in things.
so. Yeah.
Who was in, that 70s show for the last season or something.
Oh, was he? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I do think he has a brother that does stuff.
All right.
But yeah, it's not Breckin Meyer.
Not Breckin Meyer.
Yeah.
All right.
Glad we cleared that up.
Yep. I mean,
listener, if you have any information on the whereabouts of Seth Meyers' brother, please call in. Call in and let us know.
I mean, we could just check IMDb, but
no.
Your phone's in your pocket.
I know, I put it away. I'm done with it.
Over by my monitor, so. mean, they do kind of look alike a little bit.
I can sort of see it. I can sort of see it.
All right.
Sure.
Don't.
No, it's not a stupid thing.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
No. I can see the resemblance. I see how you got there.
Alrighty.
Beyond the name similarity.
Yeah. He's good in this movie. I felt bad for him at times.
Yeah. Like Ty is just trying to, flirt with him, and they have a good connection, and Cher is just putting herself like, nope, come over here.
Yep.
Yeah. This movie is so it's loosely based on Emma by Jane Austen.
Okay.
And it's basically just about a woman who is a meddler who meddles in other people's lives.
Alrighty.
So yeah, Cher's a meddler.
All right.
That's really all it is.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Also, I've never read or seen any adaptation of Emma as is. So
I saw they did one, I think 2 years ago. It was during the pandemic, or maybe like right before the pandemic started, that everything shut down, with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay.
And that one was okay.
Yeah,
I know there's one, I believe, with Gwyneth Paltrow from the late 90s.
Okay. I do recall... I recall seeing ads for the one with Anya Taylor-Joy, because I think, like, I saw Bill Nighy and like the and somewhere in there, and I don't know why, I just get excited whenever I see that guy.
Yeah,
he much like a Dan Hedaya.
Have you watched Love Actually yet this season?
Nope,
no,
never seen.
He's in that one too.
Okay,
yeah,
good for him.
That's my next pick.
Nope.
Aww.
No, thank you.
This is now a rom-com podcast. I pick rom-coms, you pick horror movies.
You know what? I'm kind of okay with that format.
This is Love and Horror with Eric and Joe. Alright, let's put that in our back pocket.
Okay, alright. Oh boy, what else? What's going on in the news?
Oh man! I remembered. For some reason, I remembered the Cher's realization that she loves Josh being like the climax of the movie, like the end. So I was very surprised when there was a lot more movie after that happens. Like, it's really just the end of the second act, basically.
Right. I mean, there's... You say a lot more movie. The movie's only 97 minutes.
It's true, yeah. There's like 15 minutes more movie, maybe.
So thankfully, this movie is blissfully short.
Yeah.
And again... Still not exactly knowing how I stand on this movie. Like, I didn't hate any of it.
Yeah.
Just like the characters, but you're supposed to hate them, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Oh boy, I don't know. And then I felt like, like, having not seen this movie, like, I just sort of knew that, Cher and Paul Rudd were gonna, wind up together.
Sure.
But also, is this the origin point for step porn?
Yeah, this is basically, I think, the first video that was uploaded to Pornhub is Clueless.
Because that was kind of icky.
It's weird.
Yep.
Yeah. It's Jane Austen.
Yeah, alright.
But they're not related.
No, not at all. But,
yeah. But it's still weird.
Yep.
But they have amazing chemistry together.
They really do.
I thought their scenes together before she realizes that she's in love with him were just really charming.
Yeah. But I mean, it's Paul Rudd.
It is Paul Rudd.
It's hard not to be charmed by him.
That's true.
He lights up the screen.
He does.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think, I mean, yeah, like, I feel like I keep taking away from Alicia Silverstone by praising, Paul Rudd and Brittany Murphy in this movie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're generally great. And I definitely felt more alert when either of them were on screen.
Yeah.
And just annoyed as fuck whenever it was just Cher, especially with voiceover.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there are definitely exceptions to the rule, but, I've always felt that voiceover in movies is just a bad choice.
Okay.
But, at least it felt like it was supposed to be there rather than just sort of added on later.
Right. It's not a Blade Runner situation.
Not a Blade Runner, yeah.
I'm imagining this movie with Harrison Ford lazily doing the voiceover. Look at my mom. She's a total Betty.
So, okay.
Is it time to talk about the language of the movie?
A little bit.
Okay.
So I have. There have been a couple movies that I've tried watching in the last year or so that I made like 10 minutes in, and it was just like, nope, I'm out.
All right.
One of them was the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
The other one was Jennifer's Body.
Okay.
With Megan Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, oddly, both horror comedies, but like, just the faux teen slang presented in both and in this. Like, honestly, if I had just been watching this by myself, would have turned it off after about 10 minutes.
All right.
Just, oh my god, just irritating.
Where is Jennifer's Body set? I've never seen that one.
I don't know.
Because Buffy is definitely California.
Yeah. Yeah, early 90s California.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's just, like, I don't know how much of the slang stuff is real and how much of it is nonsense satirical stuff.
Right.
In this movie, anyway.
Because, I mean, it's not like with Jennifer's Body, I feel like they just made up words.
Okay.
Whereas, like, with this one, I was like, okay, I know all these words, I have heard all these terms, not by, like, actual human beings.
Sure. Okay.
But, like, in just, this is how cool kids talk. And maybe that's just part of the satire that just kind of went over my head, or just, I don't know, maybe I did get it, but it was just so fucking nerve-scratching to me.
Yeah, I feel like there almost comes a point where I don't notice it anymore when we're watching this.
Alright.
It's like reading subtitles or watching a movie in a foreign language or with people with accents.
Yeah,
I noticed it a lot from Christian more than I noticed it from anybody else.
Yeah. He's I mean, definitely putting on affectations anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe
I noticed his because it stood out from everyone else's, because it's that sort of, like, retro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his whole character, the way he looks and acts and dresses is apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
But also clearly gay.
Oh yeah.
From
the jump.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's no question.
Yeah.
I don't know what stems are.
Nope.
When he says nice stems to her.
Legs.
Is that legs? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Whatever.
Gams. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But, like, yeah, no, totally.
Speaking of things I don't know about.
Yeah.
What's a cake boy?
I believe cake boy is just an old term for a homosexual.
Alrighty.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I mean,
a cake eater.
I mean, I got that from context,
Yeah.
but not a phrase I had ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know the origin of it.
Okay.
But I know I've heard it before.
Alrighty.
Not in conversation, just in other contexts.
Sure.
Yeah, like cake eater, I think is what it is.
All right.
It comes from, but again, I don't know where that.
I mean,
I like cake.
yeah, who doesn't like cake?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, I know who doesn't. Paul F. Tompkins.
Paul F. Tompkins doesn't like cake?
Isn't that his whole bit, cake versus pie?
Maybe. I don't remember.
No, I think he prefers cake over pie.
Is it because he doesn't like hot fruit?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And also, there's frosting on cake.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you put frosting on pie, then maybe you got something.
Oh, Paul. Our personal friend, Paul. Parasocial relationships. Oh, podcasts are fucking weird.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yes, they are.
Like, I spent the day with my friends Scott, Paul, and Lauren today.
So did I.
Yeah, that was
nice. Yeah. And yesterday I spent my day with Dave and Gary.
Nice. Which one's that one?
The Dollop.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Dave
Gareth. Anthony, and Gareth. I got you. Oh, man. Well, yeah. I love this movie. I understand your conflict. Yeah. I really do.
I guess I'm just sort of in the middle with it, I guess.
That's fair.
It's... Maybe if I had seen it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And been surprised then by the sort of satirical turn of it, maybe then I would probably appreciate it more.
Yeah.
I don't know, because also I was looking at, like, Amy Heckerling, like, some of her other movies, and I thought she was the woman that had directed, like, what are the documentaries about, like, punk rock and metal from, like, the 80s.
Oh, did she? I don't know.
I think I'm wrong. I think maybe that was Penelope Spheris. Women are all the same.
Wow. The views expressed by Eric Schomburn do not necessarily reflect the reviews of Joe Grunenwald. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know did she write, I don't know if she directed it, Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, she directed that because Cameron Crowe wrote it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for some reason I thought she had something to do with Heathers, but she may not have.
I don't believe so, yeah. But definitely Fast Times, and like, it's been a minute since I've seen that movie, but like, I definitely got Fast Times vibes, especially like during like one of the first classroom scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Breckenmeyer character is clearly a Spicoli,
right? Yeah.
But I felt. And maybe it's just because Cameron Crowe wrote that one. I don't know. I felt like that one was a bit sharper.
Okay.
As far as things go. Also, maybe a little more substantive, like, plot-wise.
Okay.
Like I feel like the plot of this movie is barely existent.
Yeah, it's really just, it's a series of vignettes, sort of, about her taking on different projects and sort of just flitting about.
Because like the IMDb synopsis is that Cher gets a bad grade, and so she then tries to set up her teachers in a love match.
Yeah,
and I thought that was going to be
the whole plot
of the movie.
Yeah, that's like 15 minutes of the movie.
Barely.
Yep. Yeah, it's just sort of her futzing with people's lives,
right? Yeah, it's like I can't not recommend it.
Sure.
Yeah, your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I think that's a perfectly fair assessment. Yeah, I don't know how much of my love of it is nostalgia.
Right.
Since it's been in my life for a long time.
Right.
I think part of it is, like, when I realized that it was a satire, like, when I realized it wasn't serious, and these characters are cartoons.
Right.
Like, that gave me a deeper appreciation for it. So, yeah, I don't know.
I will say, it's not aged well.
No, there are definitely some things that have not aged well, and it's a very 90s movie.
That's mostly what I was leaning to. Like, there's one or two things, that were just like, yeah. But for the most part, it was just, yes, this is very, very 90s. Which, I mean, I would say that I came of age, like, right around the time that this movie came out, so, like, it should speak to me on some sort of level, like, with that, but it does not.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel ashamed
Aww.
to have been, 18 years old in 1996.
The thing that made me think most about the age of the movie is after they get their report cards. And Cher and Dee are talking on their cell phones.
Yeah.
And like, now that feels totally normal.
Right.
But I think at the time that was supposed to be like this weird, like, why do they, like, well, because I was even looking at her phone and it looks like, a relatively normal phone. It's not like a Zach Morris cell phone or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird just like how that just little element of it has changed.
Right.
In 25 years.
Yeah, like the scene where she and her dad and Paul Rudd are all having dinner and, like, the phone goes off and all three of them answer.
Yeah.
I feel like that in the theater in 1996, that must have gone over hilariously.
That would have killed. Look at all these assholes with their phones. What are you doing with a cellular phone? It's like watching Scream. Like, well, why do you have a cellular phone?
Oh, boy. And then also, an appearance by Ren and Stimpy.
Yes.
By famed child groomer John Kricfaluski.
Yikes.
And then, of course, an appearance by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tone.
Right.
With lead vocalist... anti-vaxxer Dickie Barrett.
Why does he grimace so much?
I don't know. Because he's ska core.
Oh, okay. Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Man, I was super into the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones in this time. For the listener that is unaware, I was in a ska band for about 5 minutes.
Right. Is that Luke Skywalker?
It was Luke Skywalker.
Excellent. I thought someone was at the front door. It's like, did she come over? Like, you told her not to.
Nope, that is just my cat.
That's spectacular.
Yep. But yeah, no, I was super into ska and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and I had a friend right around this time who had seen them like 30 times in concert.
What?
Yep.
But they were only around for like 6 months.
Sir. They have quite an extensive discography. And have only broken up this past year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or 2 years ago because of, again...
vaccine reasons?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Dickie Barrett wrote a song that was anti-vaccine.
Awesome. Classy.
Destroyed a band.
It's okay, he's touring with Clapton now, I heard.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And that wasn't even her favorite band.
Really?
Yeah.
I shudder to ask who her favorite band was.
Duran Duran.
Oh, okay. All right.
She once drove naked through Dayton to get Duran Duran tickets.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Was that a radio thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Got arrested.
Wow. I vaguely remember hearing about something like that.
Yep.
Was that here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friends with that lady.
Amazing.
I mean, after the fact, but... Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. She went on, like, the Montel Williams show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're running interesting circles, Eric.
I did. Now it's just you and Jason.
Yay! Aw, that's nice.
It is, actually.
I like it.
I prefer it.
Oh, Clueless.
Yeah. I guess I'm glad I saw this finally.
Yeah. Are we doing good? Are you glad you saw this, or could you have died without ever having seen it? So what we're doing right now?
You know, maybe I could have died without having ever seen it. But I didn't hate it.
Okay.
It definitely has funny moments in it. Like, you know, I laughed out loud numerous times. I will say that, as with probably a lot of things, I laughed harder because you were laughing.
Aww.
But also, you know, I did find them generally funny. Like when Ed tells Brittany Murphy to get out of his seat.
Yes, that was so funny. I didn't remember that at all. Oh man, he's a ninja in this movie.
He's great. He is an MVP. Yeah, your mileage may vary. I'll stick with that.
Perfect. Is anything making you happy this week?
No.
Okay.
Not unhappy, but just I'm on autopilot.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's the end of the year.
It is.
Just gotta get through.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my girlfriend had surgery a couple, I mean, by the time the listener hears this, a couple weeks ago. So, she and I are both, as I mentioned, crippled.
Right.
So haven't seen her, talked to her almost every day though. So, that's something. But you know what? I do have something that's been making me happy.
Okay.
Just last weekend, I decided, you know what? I have not watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine in a while. You and I watched Pop Star and the Bash Brothers Experience a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And then about a week after that, I made my girlfriend watch them both. And she and I were talking about Andy Samberg in general, and then I told her like what I've told you basically is that like I used to hate him, but it was just accidentally catching an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine that just really started my turnaround on him. And so I think it was mostly just SNL that I hate.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for me as well.
Yeah. Which, is an opinion that still stands. And so, yeah, she mentioned, because before her surgery, she went down to Florida to visit her sister. And apparently, I guess they watched a clip from Brooklyn Nine-Nine of Andy Samberg, Jake Peralta, and like a police lineup making people sing. And
yes,
yeah. She said that was hilarious.
I want it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny.
So I was like, man, I should watch that. So last week I decided I was going to start watching it again, and I've been burning through them.
Nice.
And it is such a goddamn joy.
Yeah.
And I posted this on Twitter. Raymond Holt is the best character in television history.
He is really wonderful.
He truly is.
Yeah.
So that is what has been bringing me joy this past week.
That's great. That's great.
What about you, sir?
I watched the new season of White Lotus.
Okay. I've not seen any of that.
It's a weird show.
Okay.
That's Mike White created. No idea.
Nope.
Enlightens? Did you ever watch that? No?
Nope.
Okay. School of Rock? I think you wrote that, maybe? Okay.
Nope.
But yeah, White Lotus is a show about basically just terrible people go to a resort. And there have been 2 seasons, and each season follows a different location of this White Lotus resort line. And the whole season is the week that the people spend from when they get there to when they leave.
Oh, okay.
And it's a deeply strange show.
Alrighty.
I feel tense while I'm watching it. But in a really good way. Like I am fascinated by it. And the performances are great, and the most recent season was fantastic. So I think that's probably I binged that over the weekend. And that's probably the thing that has brought me a measure of joy this week.
All right.
And being Santa at a holiday party today was really fun too.
You're very Santa-like. You do have a big boisterous laugh. You have a beard.
Mm-hmm.
You often wear red.
I do.
You're wearing red right now.
I know. Well, in the flash, you know.
With a white undershirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you might be Santa.
I think I might be. I fucking love being Santa. It's so fun. It's so nice. I feel like I once I'm old enough, I feel like I have a plan.
Oh. So I want to just sidebar, completely almost off topic.
Okay.
It's Santa related, I guess.
Gotcha. I was done with my stuff anyway, so yeah. I'll allow it, but watch yourself, counselor.
For us, Christmas is about a week and a half away here.
Right.
My lady friend was complaining because her kids, they're school age, and so they have to listen to all their friends talk about Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, fuck Elf on the Shelf.
My feelings exactly.
Yeah.
And hers as well.
Excellent. I knew I liked her.
And so she had to explain to her kids why they don't have an Elf on the Shelf. And so she told them, I guess possibly one might construe as a bad mom way.
Okay.
That the kids who have Elf on the Shelf are bad kids who need to be constantly watched.
It's true. It's true. Elf on the Shelf is a fucking narc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she says, as long as you're good kids, then we don't need to have an Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah.
And she also, then went off on like a little rant about Christmas in general.
Okay.
Which, for her is probably way more stressful than it is for me, as she has children, and I don't have to give anyone anything.
Right.
I don't like anyone, and they all know I'm poor.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Listener, I made puppy dog eyes.
You did. And I didn't give a shit.
I don't expect anything at all from anyone.
But she was saying, like for her kids, what she does is, she buys, like presents or whatever, but like the cheap shit or like socks.
Sure.
Those are all from Santa. Like the PS5, that's from mom and dad.
Of course. Yeah. That makes total sense.
Right.
Why should Santa get credit for that?
Exactly. And I was like, you know what? We should take it a step further. Give them like a whittled horse and say that's from Santa. The only gifts you get from Santa are the shit that you see like fucking elves building like in a workshop.
Yeah.
They aren't making a PS5.
It's true.
They're making something with very few moving parts.
Yeah.
That can possibly cause splinters.
A lot of people ask me for cars today.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, they were adults.
Oh, okay.
The people that I saw were adults.
Yeah,
so.
well,
Yeah.
But, you know.
I told him I'd see what I could do.
Okay. All right.
I didn't make anyone any promises.
All right.
That I recall. Santa has no recollection of that conversation. Santa sees a lot of people.
So nobody asked you to, like, you know, bring back their, like, dead mom or anything like that?
No, thankfully no. I was not asked to repair any relationships.
Good.
Oh, I'm barely keeping myself together, kids.
I mean, I was gonna say, you know, that's, you know. Like, I can't imagine how you would have handled that.
Yeah. Yes, and?
Why is Santa crying?
Oh, Santa's had a rough year.
Oh, boy.
Do you have a movie in mind for next week?
I do. As I panicked before we went into the show. But it is a movie that I don't know if you've watched already or not, but it is fairly new, like within the last week or so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Came out on Netflix. It is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
I have not watched that.
I know that I'm still keeping apparently on the animation stream here, but I really want to see it, and I think I would otherwise forget that it existed within a week. If I didn't sort of put it down on paper.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, I really want to see that as well, so I would love to watch that with you.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. Pinocchio. Next week.
Goodbye.
Happy belated Christmas, everyone. Ho, ho, ho.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.